Hi, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're answering, is it time to pivot your business? I'm Gabriela, brand strategist and certified UX designer. Let's go ahead and get into it. Pivoting business is 100% normal, and it's actually an important part of growing. I think that I've changed my business like 5 times in the past 2 years. And while I'm 100% satisfied with my plans for the next few years and where I am in business right now, that would not have been possible without the business that I made without the pivots that I made in the beginning. Because really that's the point of switching things up. It's to learn about what you want from your business and the change that you want to provide your audience, your clients, and surrounding communities. All right, so now that you know pivoting is 100% okay and completely normal, let's get into the 3 ways you know it's time to change directions and how to tackle that change. So number 1, your offers feel like they're lacking something. You're likely feeling that they're lacking something because you've learned a lot since the last time that you pivoted or since you started your business, and the new things just do not reflect your new experience, your new knowledge, and everything that you've learned throughout this time in business. Number 2, there's a lack of direction when it comes to where you are headed. So that lack of a direction can really be a killer to businesses. And there could be so many reasons why that happens. It could be that maybe you hired a coach that just didn't align with your values as much as you thought they did. It could be that the people you're meeting networking are on different business levels than you are at. Or maybe it's that you've burnt out and you forgot why you started your business in the first place. Now, all that really comes down to is not being connected to a purpose. And sometimes we can make decisions from like an emotional place, because I know everyone says like take your emotions out of business. Business should be about being analytical and all that kind of stuff. But for small business owners, like, it's our baby. So it's kind of hard for us to sometimes make those decisions without, some emotion behind it. So, and that's okay. That's part of the learning process. Like, sometimes we make those decisions. We learned, okay, yeah, maybe I should have taken a step back to realize what I should have changed. What knowledge I should have considered first. So yeah, it's okay. We all learn, we all make mistakes. It's okay. So, and then number 3, you're not working with your dream clients. So this is a tough one because clients bring in money, and money provides us with a roof over our heads, provides us with food, and so much more. Now, it's important to get clients, especially in the beginning of your business, and there's no shame in taking clients that are less than like ideal. So, however, once you get a few clients under your belt, it's okay to start finding your dream clients. So it's okay to move on to new things. There comes a time in business where, you do kind of have to move on from even those relationships that you built in the beginning, that maybe they aren't making those changes and moving the way that we're moving, or they're okay with the place that they are in their business. And you see that if you're a part of any business groups on like Facebook or anything like that, then you see that question come up like, hey, I've had this client for a long time. Hey, I've been doing this for a long time, and my first client, or one of my first clients, just I haven't raised my rates, and every time I've tried to, they fight back, or they push back, or hey, I've had this client for a long time and they're wanting me to take on all this extra work, but they don't want to pay me, and anytime I bring that up, they're not willing to pay me more. So those are kind of cues when it's time for you to move on, for you to start finding like your dream clients, because the reality is that your dream clients won't necessarily push ask you to do free work. So yeah, it's okay to move on to bigger and better things. I know it can be hard, especially when we build those connections, because again, we're humans, we're emotional beings, and that is okay to feel that kind of like kind of bad sometimes. And it is what it is, but you have to make that decision in order for you to move on and for you to do bigger and better things. All right, so if you're still here, it's likely that one of these resonated with you, and I'd love to know in the comments which one that is. For me personally, there's been a few times where like all of these have resonated with me, and it was honestly really hard, and I did feel really lost. In fact, at the beginning of this year, I took several months, I'd say a little more than half the year, to really take a step back, evaluate my business and what I wanted to do going forward. I'm going to be honest, I contemplated quitting altogether. I know that was a privilege for me, and that was something that I'm very grateful that I was able to do. But I also understand that not everyone can do that. So if you can't take a step back, plan a day or two every week and take some time for yourself. So, and again, this isn't like taking a full day. I know not everyone can take a full day, especially like if your business is your main source of income, right? You can't really take full days off, but take at least, an hour, 2 hours here and there, a couple days a week to do something that you enjoy doing, whether that's painting, coloring, hiking, playing video games, gardening, sitting down and doing nothing. Like sometimes we just need those days where we just sit down and just stare at a wall, So, but yeah, do something that you enjoy, that makes you happy, whatever that is. Bonus though, make sure that you're taking time for personal development as well, because you can't sleep on the fact that growing as a person, as an individual, really is going to help you so much in your business. It's going to help you make better decisions. It's going to help you, it is going to help you step away from making those emotional choices and really just connecting with people on a deeper level, which is really, really important for any aspect of your life, not even necessarily in business. So after you do that, so take a few months to do that, because you don't want to make any rash decisions in business. You want to take a few months to really connect with yourself, figure out what your purpose is, figure out the direction that you want your business to go in. And then I think the biggest tip that I can give you though is that a coach or a business guru or whatever, they aren't going to help you really do that. They can guide you, but I think anyone that tries to give you definitive answers, or when you come back and tell them, hey, I kind of discovered this about myself, and they're like, no, don't go that direction, that should be a red flag to you. And this is going to be like a very personal part of the journey that you really need to take that time to figure yourself out, figure your own purpose out, and it's really going to make a difference for not just your business, but again, other parts of your life as well. All right, so once you figure that out, it's time to get into the work. Okay, so yes, getting to know yourself, connecting with yourself is all very important, but so is doing the actual work. There's one thing that has saved me in business time and time again, and that is setting SMART goals. Okay, so SMART goals, if you're not familiar with those, they stand for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So let me know if you do want a video on how to break down SMART goals and what kind of example you'd like to see for that. So I recommend considering everything that you have going on in life and in business before you set your SMART goals. Okay, so make sure that your goals are truly realistic. So you'll want to consider things like time-specific tasks. So if you currently have a lot of clients right now and you have deadlines, so making sure that you have those deadlines in mind and not just planning the amount of time, but that it's going to take to complete those tasks, but also leaving a bit of buffer just in case anything goes wrong. So that's where, you're planning your time strategically. But it also includes things like family commitments. So like getting kids to the soccer practice. If you are a caretaker, making sure you're doing your caretaking responsibilities, or anything of that nature. And also taking time to take care of yourself. So having lunch, taking breaks between work, having that transition time between tasks, and then of course making time to wind down at the end of the day. So let's say like before the kids come home, before your spouse comes home, before your partner comes home, before you go and take care of any other life duties, just plan that time, however much time you need. It could be 15 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, whatever. take that time to wind down before you transition to the next day. And then, of course, at the end of your day, taking some time away from like the screens and everything so that you get a good night's sleep as well. If it helps, you can set reminders using tools like Google Calendar or project management tools like ClickUp. So I personally use a combination of both Google Calendar and ClickUp. And so I use ClickUp to show like my time blocks, and then of course like calendar, the Google Calendar to plan out like my events. And my husband and I, we share a calendar, like a family calendar for Google Calendar, where like he'll add things like, hey, the kids have this going on, or I'll add things like the girls have this event going on, you know. So just make sure you're doing that, and that you're planning out all the important things. All right, so if you're feeling lost and it's time to pivot your business, make sure that you take that time for yourself before you're setting the SMART goals. All right, so I want to thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next week, where we'll go over how to create business statements. And if you're not a part of the email community yet, be sure to join, because I have a little sneak peek on the brand that we're going to use to create those business statements. All right, see you next week.